Hey Nash, what should we make?
What if we made something that would confuse and probably offend both Italy and Taco Bell?
All right, let's make an Italian Crunchwrap Supreme. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where we love fusions, and I'm half Italian. So in thinking about what kind of stuff we could fuse, I thought, what if we made a Crunchwrap Supreme Italian? So that's the plan for today, and without further ado, let's go. So first we gotta make our crispy tortillas for the inside. So we wanna bring some neutral oil up to about 350 degrees in some sort of a pan. We throw our guy in there. And then we flip it to fry the other side. Then we throw another one in there just in case we f the first one up. Once we have a nice crispy dude, we pull him and put him on some sort of a wire rack to drain. In a hot pan on medium heat with a little bit of oil in there, we go ahead and throw in half a pound of ground beef and a half a pound of Italian sausage. I'm gonna go ahead and break this all up. And then as this guy cooks, we can add a little bit of kosher salt, some black pepper, some garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder if you so choose, and some smoked paprika. Get that all stirred in. Once your beef is nice and brown, we go ahead and add some Italian seasoning, some oregano. I know there's probably oregano in Italian seasoning, but whatever. A little bit of parsley, some basil, and a little bit of pixie dust, because why not? Then we want to lower the heat. Then we add a little bit of pasta sauce, and not required, but because we have it, I'm gonna add some tomato powder and get that all mixed in and combined. Now we have something probably just as loose and pasty and watery as like a Taco Bell's ground beef. But this is somewhere between like the really meat heavy pasta sauce and a ground beef with a lot of sauce in it. So we're gonna let this guy cook for a few minutes, let it reduce. Once your sauce is reduced and you have a nice saucy meat paste or whatever we're calling this is perfect. It's a much higher quality Italian version of that meat slop you get in a Taco Bell Crunchwrap. So this is perfect. So we kill the heat and then we remove this to another vessel to let it cool. So then we want to make our cheese mixture. So to a bowl we add, whoops, that didn't work. Good job, Tim. We want to add some ricotta cheese, about a cup, somewhere around there. And then to that, we add a good amount of grated mozzarella and some fine grated parm, a little bit of Italian seasoning, some oregano, and some basil. And then we just get this all combined. Once we have a lovely little cheese paste deal, then we set that aside. So we get out a big ass tortilla, and then we put down a layer of our cheese paste, or whatever we're calling this. Maybe just using your fingers is the best way to do this. We want to make all of our layers about the same size as our crispy little tortilla. So, yep, that works. And then we throw down a layer of our beef and sausage mixture. And then on top of that, we will do a little bit more of our mozzarella just to kind of act as a flavor and a binder. Then we put this guy right there. We do a little bit more of that cheese mixture. Then a very thin layer of our meat with a little bit of sauce over the top of that. And we want a very thin layer of some greens. I thought spinach seemed like the right move, so that's what we're doing. But if you wanted to use like basil or something, that might work. You know, give it a try. I don't know. Then we'll throw some diced tomatoes on top to finish off our little veggies here. And then a little bit more cheese on top of that, just because. And then we just wrap this guy up. There we go. Then we take our guy seam side down into a hot, hot, hot pan and just get him kind of grilling. We want to get that seam nice and sealed. And we can go ahead and flip it once our seam is nice and sealed. And technically nothing actually needs to be cooked in this, but we do want to melt the cheese and kind of marry all the layers and get everything nice and crunch wrappy, you know? And then once you have a nice little sear on both sides, we can go ahead and pull this guy right off. And here we have our guy, all nice and grilled, I guess. Crunch wrapped. Let's go ahead and cut him open, see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks awesome. That looks awesome. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And there we have our Italian Crunchwrap Supreme. And it's time for a bite. Cheers. It's got all the texture and portability of a Crunchwrap Supreme, but all the flavors are Italian. With that beef and sausage and that tomato sauce mixed in with that sort of ricotta, mozzarella, parmesan cheese mixture, the spinach and the tomatoes give it a, it makes it feel like there's something healthy in there. So I guess that counts for something. But either way, this is phenomenal. Highly recommend giving it a try out of 10. And hey, that's what I think, but let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm starting to think we're not cooking anymore. We're just experimenting.
Well, check it out. We made this Italian Crunchwrap Supreme just like you wanted. And of course, we made a dog-friendly version just for you. Well, here you go. What do you think?
Okay, that's like lasagna and a Crunchwrap had a secret relationship, and this is the result. I approve.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Never do something permanently foolish just because you are temporarily upset.
Nash approves, I approve. Look, I didn't know this one would work, but it turned out pretty awesome. So go try it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. If you enjoyed this video, go hit the like button. And hey, if you want to see more of our crazy fusions, go check them out somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. Until next time, be good and peace.